So what do we have here? This guy's leading into me. Half pot on this board. Down here on the bottom left. I'm going to go all in here. King 7. Top pair, decent kicker. You could bet call off like 10-7, 8-7. 7-6 he has for top 2 pair. So a bit of a cooler there. Against a shorter stack. That one is a final table. So it would have been nice to win that. Up here on the top right. Nice board for my range versus the big blind. It's ace-10 suited. It's just like a small range bet going for some value. And up here on the left, I will open 9-6 suited for 30 effective when I'm covering everybody. But this is a pretty close open, I think. I think it's bottom range. 6.6 is all in here. This is a mystery bounty final table, but I think all the relevant mystery bounties are gone, so there's no use gambling. It would just be pretty bad. This one, on the other hand, up here, mystery bounty tournament where all the top mystery bounties are in there, so yeah, arguably I should even play like this ace-8 flatting or something. Yeah, I am covering everyone at the table. So yeah, it definitely makes sense to play some more hands. Alright, king 9 suited, definitely raising here. Ace 9 offsuit, looks like an easy VPip. This guy's 1 big blind and $31 bounty. I think I'm just opening. If he had more than 2 big blinds, I might consider having some limps, because then if I limp and he goes all in, it'll open action. But if I limp and he goes all in, the blinds can just flat and then action's not open. So I don't think limping makes as much sense. Not the best flop here for our hand, but I think we can bet small on queen 8-4. It's ace 5. I'm gonna just fold here. On the bottom left. So here we have complete air, no blocker or anything. I think it's better just to give up in this spot. Especially .es, kind of a softer site. People tend to just play a bit more face up, not floating the flop as much. So when they call, they usually connect with something, and I think it's better just to bluff with like semi-bluffs most of the time. So yeah, I think standard give up. All right, here we've hit an incredibly good board, almost too good of a board. Feels like someone's gonna have the random 3-6 offsuit or something, because this is about as good of a board as we could have asked for. Now, how should we play this against this lead? Interesting here. I'm just gonna call this. I think I have to raise. It's just a question of what sizing. I guess I just raise to something where I can shove the turn, which I believe is around 8. Yeah, that leaves like just about a pot size turn bet, assuming he would flat. You know, with an extra player in the pot, it's gonna be, we'll have some bluffs here, but it's gonna be basically all semi-bluffs, meaning a draw that I'm calling off with. So here we brick the flop. I do think it was good to call the large open because of yeah, the large bounties are in play. Try and connect with a board, but that was obviously a terrible flop. Ooh, got the exact spot we didn't want. The flat and the worst possible turn card for our hand. It's not that bad for our range, but it's definitely bad for our hand. 8-7 gets there, which this guy probably plays like this a bunch. Donking small, then flatting. Does look a lot like a draw. 4-5 is possible to be bluffing here. I wonder if we've just mucked the turn. I'm going to call still. I feel like it's a little bit too weak to fold the turn. Here I'm obviously shoving. And I was saying, does that change anything? 4-5 hits a 4, but that's no showdown. 5 deuce would be pretty absurd. They can't really have that hand unless they are just an absolute whale. So it's just going to be a flush here. 8-7. What bluffs? It really has to be 4-5. He has to take 4-5 and bluff. The river being a 4 blocks combos of that, so I think I just have to fold. If this guy has some bad random float, it's just, you know, complete punt versus my flop raise. Like if he would show up here with like queen high with a spade, some hand like queen jack with a spade or something. So I think the river kind of saved me there, honestly, because yeah, it's so much easier to fold on a 4 than any other card. Maybe I should fold the turn even. Not sure about that though. The ranges are quite wide here. They're very wide. There's a $31 bounty. This guy was in the big blind defending. He has like super wide range, but he has infinite flushes, obviously, because yeah, like the hand he showed up with here, Jack 5 suited, he has every combo of this stuff. I do raise a lot of that too, though. I won't have as many flushes as him, but I'm definitely having a bunch of flushes because I'm raising extra wide because of this bounty. So I think my only decision really is on the turn. Just fold this and continue. I mean, I have other hand. I could continue with hands that are drawing live against a flush. When I have a set, a 2-pair, jacks with a spade, ace X with a spade, ace 9 with a spade. Obviously, I would have raised the flop with flush draws too, and then I would just have the flush. So I probably could get away from this actually, just on the turn. Yeah, not the easiest spot though. One of those spots where I 100% had the best hand before the turn. So those spots aren't always that easy to get away. And yeah, a player like this, a big stack, Kazakhstan, this is like one of the most loose aggressive countries, like the way they play. Like these players are not nitty at all. Like if he flipped over 4-5 on the river here after I folded, I would not be shocked at all. I would like expect it. And even I think 5-7 is definitely possible. A hand like 5-7 of diamonds, which I think is like, yeah, because that's a double gut shot. So yeah, 5-7, he could have had that hand and played it like this. I think he has to call the flop there with that hand. So the fact that 4-5 blocks 4-5 and completes 5-7, I think that river is just so bad. I just can't even really call anything. Probably. But yeah, interesting hand there. All right, we got Jack 10 suited up here. I think I have to just open. Not many other options. Maybe fold. Fold's probably too nitty, but yeah, we are one of the shorter stacks in a bounty raising into bigger stacks, so we already have to be like tighter, but I think this hand's still in there opening. 10-9, open button. This one's, we're currently 1 out of 14. Against a 3-bet, we have an easy fold. Queen 3 suited cutoff. Should be a fold down here at this FT. Alright, we hit top pair. Our 10 kicker gives us some decent board coverage when it runs out like an 8 or a 6 on the turn. I think I have a standard check. Could bet small as well. It's okay, I think. Get some protection against like queen jacks and king queens, but I don't really have a hand that's ever going to be worth more than like 2 streets maximum. So I'm going to have to check 1 street at least, and I think the flop is a fine one for that, especially with 2 people flatting, where I'm not just like range betting every hand or anything. I think I just call this. And we'll just have to check fold on the flop. Queens with a 3x open in front. Just gonna 3-bet to 9. Went check. I'm just gonna check here. Wouldn't hate bluffing some overcards with like a heart, maybe like Jack 10 with a heart or something. But I think this hand, I'm not doing that. So here with the shove and call, it's just an easy fold, but I was just playing my other spots. I would never call this, of course. It's not likely they both have a 7, but it is very likely one of them has a 7. So yeah, we would just have 2 outs in that case. All right, we actually got flatted, and they donk lead in, so that's a very good sign. That means they're either bluffing or they have like pocket 10s in my opinion, or jacks, because I think kings aces would be jamming pre. Maybe aces or something, but yeah. Certainly kings I would expect to have just shoved when I 3-bet them. So I'm going to shove for value and hope they call, because they're probably drawing very slim, especially if they tank. Up here I'll defend. It is a 3x open, so I almost feel like folding, but yeah, and the ranges are pretty tight pre-flop on this site, but feels like I have to still defend ace-8 here. You know, if it's a min raise, I would never consider folding this. So just one extra big blind. Does that make me fold a hand that's like a no-brainer defend against 2? This guy had ace-jack offsuit and just randomly bluff bet the flop and then tank folded. Okay. Yeah, this is Bowdog's, one of the softest sites around, and this is like lower stakes tournament than I usually play on this site, and this is like basically free money from what I've seen so far. Though I have ran good holding and getting good hands, but yeah, this is playing like an incredibly low level. Just seeing a hand like that where they call a 3-bet, like 3x pre, which is a mistake in sizing. They call the 3-bet, which is a mistake. Ace-jack offsuit should not call 3-bet there at a final table. And then they donk bet half pot on the flop, which is a large mistake. And then they fold to the all-in, which I think was good. But even that is like, yeah, no, I think he has to fold there. But yeah, that was the best part of the hand for him, was folding to the shove after he misplayed every other part of it. So now, what even happened here? How is there 21 blinds in this pot? Did I 3-bet pre or something and like 2 people flatted me? I must have must have done something with this hand when I was talking about the other hand, just autopiloted. We're in a weird spot now, I guess. I'm in the small blind. How can there be this much in the pot? Did I flat pre against this guy and this guy squeezed small and then he called and I called or something? Fold this 9-7. This hand, if I was a bit deeper, I'd raise call, but I think on 10 blinds, I just want to jam. I'm going to call this. There's a chance I'm ahead. No, there's not much of a chance. We donk and turn our hand into a bluff. I think probably not. Could run into a straight, a flush, a full house. Yeah, it's unfortunate he bets the turn there with that hand. But if he's betting that hand, I don't know. I need to see the pre-flop action. It was 4 big blinds. If it was a bigger bet, I definitely would have folded. But oh, I 3-bet this guy to try and get it in. Yeah, that makes sense. How the pot got so big. That makes perfect sense, because I could have shoved 40 blinds, but actually I would have been out had I done that, so I guess good thing I didn't. But if I knew this guy would be like cold calling stuff, I probably would have jammed, honestly, because you don't really want him cold calling here. Just kind of bad for me most of the time. This guy limps in. This is the big fishy guy. I'm just gonna raise this hand, I guess, to like 5. And just like shove a bunch of flops if he calls. If he jams pre, I just call off because I'm priced in. If he folds, then that's fine. But I pretty much just want to isolate him, get him heads up instead of playing a multi-way pot with the other deeper stack. Yeah, so kind of close against that bet. Like 4 blinds, I'm getting a sick price. And with the pre-flop action, cold calling, that is like the sort of thing whales do. So if I would call, if I went to showdown and won here against pocket 4s or something, I would not have been surprised, especially on a site like this. So I think we played it fine. All right, aces on this board I think is a pretty standard check raise. Just because it plays really good if it goes check check. If they have a hand like king jack or king 10, you trap them into seeing the turn, or they bluff stab. I think this is an easy 3-bet on ace 4 on the button. 4-5 suited, raise cutoff here at the final table. And of course, yeah, we just raise here. Get the money in. See if these bounties are alive. Oh no, they're both gone, but doesn't matter. We get another bad flush turn, but the board's paired, so we're never drawing dead. And with 15 blinds in the pot, we can't get away, you know, with 8 blinds in there. So they could definitely have a queen still, so we just have to go with it. Nice flop here. I'm going to just start betting this. Just range betting here, ace high board in a 3-bet pot. This guy raises in position. I don't see wanting to re-raise, just bloating the pot. It's high variance. I'm in pretty bad shape if they have a set. I'm in good shape if they have a flush draw, but it's, yeah, not really a spot where I want to force all the money in on the flop. Guy check raises small. I think I just have to call with my range there, basically. I'm still c-betting jacks and queens and kings. I mean, okay, he probably has a flush draw or just a top pair. Ace king, why did he not shove on me pre-flop? I'll just check this 4-5. I should have showdown, maybe. We're gonna lose on the river, but yeah, that's actually really unlucky for us because jamming pre was, he only had 20 blinds there. I mean, that's the perfect hand to shove pre-flop, given it's ace king offsuit, meaning it's not like easy to play that hand out of position in a 3-bet pot. So kind of random that he didn't jam and it ended up costing us the maximum there. But good for him. Here with my ace king, I only have 18 blinds here, so I think I just have to jam this. Guy's $25 bounty. I guess that's like an average bounty at this stage. Snapped off by hopefully ace queen suited, but king jack suited. I don't think he's supposed to call that, but let's see if we can fade 1/4 of the deck. We do fade it. Well, that was a good result. Queen 9 in hijack. Definitely not an open. This one here is 17 out of 17. Just kind of been autopiloting this one. I want to kind of pay the least attention to. There's about 2,000-ish for first because it's a bounty builder, so yeah, we're obviously not looking too good, but easily, you know, you never know when a heater is coming. Like I can go from massive chip leader to out in a couple hands, and I can go from short stack to massive chip leader in a couple hands. You never quite know what the run out is going to be with the cards. So here, I think I have a nice hand to check back. Just an average kicker jack. Just seems like the exact sort of hand that primarily wants to check the flop. Now I'll also check the turn. Yeah, I'll check the turn. Don't mind betting small there too. How often has this guy been limping? Pretty often, but I don't want to jam like 37 blinds. No, I guess I'll just check. The river I think is close. I'd value bet like queen jack here probably, but I think I should check. This guy has the super nuts. I wonder if he was check raising me there on the flush river or if he was going to check call. Honestly, I bet you if I bet anything more than half pot, they probably check call, like the way they play on this site. Or they like check min raise you or something. People don't really put in money without the nuts, but they do bluff catch and play stationy, so I think value betting a good jack is still good there. All right, we'll just min raise this guy. Always fast playing here, I think, because he's saying he likes his hand. So if he has a hand like king 9, there's going to be some turns that he doesn't like his hand as much anymore, so it's important to like get him committed to the pot. This is interesting hand, whether to shove pre or not. Okay, I guess I just call at 0 time bank. I guess I'm just gonna third pot here. Maybe even a bit smaller. Yeah, the reason I would consider shoving pre is because, yeah, I think I should have. I really should have jammed pre. Because one player will isolate me, and then I'll likely get to like triple or quadruple up if I win the hand. The reason I was unsure is because this under the gun guy had 19 big blinds, like a tight opening range. My hand obviously plays pretty bad against a tight opening range, but like look how huge this pot was already, just a massive pot. And it's tough to realize the equity of it. I guess, yeah, the way I'm playing it, I'm gonna need to flop like a pair and then just get the money in. But I think getting it in pre, getting this guy to ISO shove something would have been the best option there, but I just had no time bank, unfortunately. We're down to 5 in this Bodog tournament, 650 up top. Have to fold here. I'm not going to be folding, like, I'll take any reasonable spot on 5 blinds. In a PKO, there's just no money in being a short stack. You're not getting, like, these pay jumps mean nothing. You want to realize bounties, and you want to get the top couple spots to make money in PKOs, so. Big leak people have is they get down to these stacks and they just play way too nitty. But King 5 suited versus under the gun, I can't really put my money in there, but if I get any spot where I think I'm even flipping against the range or slightly ahead, the money is going in for sure. Just walk the 9-3. This one I defended, they checked back. Did I defend? They might have given me a free flop here, but either way, I'm just going to start bluffing the turn. The gut shot and a spade blocker. Double gut shot, actually. 8 or 4. All right, 9-3 off. Don't really want to give a walk here, so I'm just going to limp. Okay, this is the sort of spot I'm talking about. Ace-5 suited. Looks like a marginal hand against middle position, but I think this is like a clear all-in here. Like I said, there's no value in me sitting here with 5 big blinds. I want to win this hand, double up, get back to 13, 14 big blinds, and actually cover people and have a chance to compete. We got isolated, which means I was getting a great price on this, so pretty good result there. Even if we would have busted, that was a success, but we binked a 5, so it was a massive success. So this just checked all the way down. I have a weak 2 pair. Probably worth a bet though. Try and get called by king high. Ace king against 3s, 11 left. This would be a nice hand to win. $35 bounty, that's what, like 7 buy-ins at this level? Well, there we win it in a sneaky way there with the 4, slightly counterfeiting him. This is close. I think we can open a suited 10 on the button. Seems like, actually no, this small blind isn't too loose or anything. Or he's not too nitty, but yeah. Seems like we can probably raise that being the chip leader. So, things have been going pretty well. Been maintaining at this one, close to the final table on this one, with chip lead currently, which is important because you get to like pick the seat at the FT. And then up here, we got a lucky double up off a short stack, and if we'd get one more double, I mean, look at this. I almost covered this guy, and he's got the biggest bounty in the tournament, $83. This is a clear all-in here, pocket 3s. We have fold equity, and we have a hand that can just randomly flip against a hand that calls off, so it's a clear all-in here with any low pair. Really any pair is all-in in this spot. Even a medium pair, they all just make sense to shove. Guess I just min-raise the 6s here. So I'm hoping this guy like loses a pot somehow so that I can slightly cover him. That would be nice. If I can steal one set of blinds when this guy folds, I would then cover him. 3s reshove gets through. Fold 7-3. Ace suited. Raise that. We checked around on the flop and turned the nuts, basically. And this guy jammed. Okay, 27 blinds against like a whale. I'm just going to raise fold this. I don't want to shove it. I check back here. Small betting's okay too with this hand. Alright, this is fine. I was hoping he wouldn't jam, but if he wants to do this, I'm happy to just call a min 3 bet. Sad flop. Snap check back. Looks kind of weak, but I'm not sure what is happening in this hand with the small 3 bet, so I think just randomly bluffing off 0 equity against probably a whale is, in my experience, not really a good play. I'll fold this ace-8 on the turn here. Okay, now he double checks though. Seems quite likely it's like an ace-high hand. Could easily be like ace-queen, ace-jack. Something like this. pocket tens or like pocket fours, random slow play is possible, I guess. But I think here we just make a big bet and hope they station ace high. I think that's the best move. Oh, that's so unlucky. Why does it have to be ace nine? It's such an obvious like ace high, but ace nine, I mean, sure, I guess. Alright, so here I end up with a monster draw. I'm just getting all the money in on the flop. Probably don't have much fold equity, but it doesn't even matter. This hand is a monster, depending on what hand they have. Even if we run into like king jack, we're like not dead. What is happening in this hand? I guess I'll raise this straight draw. Alright, we got inverse king queen busted. About $100. Not a bad result. I'm just gonna limp this. I already regret that. I think I should just raised, but it's too late. So this guy made like a weak little bet on the turn. That's why I raised. I think the 7 gives me showdown though, so I don't think I need to bluff anymore. Ace deuce. Gut shot, ace high. We don't have a heart. It's a terrible gut shot, obviously. A 4 would complete a 6, so I think I actually just fold. Ace king on the button. Raise, obviously. We get an all-in from the big blind. That's a pretty good result. So we'll happily get it in here. Open from a guy with crazy opening stats, 71% so far. So I'm just going to reshove a suited ace. And we won that hand. I didn't even see what he had. Oh, we ran into aces behind on this one. Well, I like the decision because this guy just looks like he's way out of line. So suited ace is a nice hand to reshove off a short stack. And yeah, running into aces behind, I mean, that's literally the worst case scenario because the thing about shoving a suited ace is even when you run into kings and queens, like you have like 30% equity. So it's really not the end of the world, but aces is the end of the world. You don't want to run into that hand. So we'll go to breaks here. So yeah, I'll pause the video. All right, actually, apparently we're not on break. Apparently, I forgot GG likes to randomly make you have a 5-minute break when you make a final table, which I think is just a stupid and annoying feature, but that's just my opinion. I also don't like the seat swapping thing. I think it's just annoying most of the time. Top pair, good kicker. I think this is like a big bet or check type of board. I think this hand's good enough to big bet. So I'm going to bet 5 big blinds. This was a raise from the small blind, call from big blind, single raise pot. So we're 3-handed. One guy has 7 blinds. I have 73. This guy's 28. So we're pretty massive favorite to win this tournament. Yeah, I'd say we're maybe not massive favorite because I could easily get heads up with this guy having like 40 blinds or something, and then yeah, we could definitely lose still, but we're in a very good spot. 9-6 off, I think, is good enough to defend. Could even 3-bet as a bluff, honestly. I think I will 3-bet as a bluff. No, I'll pick some other hands like Jack 7 and stuff. But I was thinking this is like the bottom of my defending range. I would just fold 9-5. So some of those like bottom range hands I do like to raise. Flop here we have a 6 of diamonds. We have like 3 to a straight, 3 to a flush, and this guy just snap bets. I think check raising is probably pretty profitable here. I even like having like a 9 kicker, just unblocking like a bunch of hands that'll bet fold here. like king jack, queen jack, jack 10, all that stuff. And on this texture, we have every 2 pair that's going to raise and get it in. We have every 5x of diamonds, 7-6 of diamonds. Like, we have so much value hands protecting our check raises that it's pretty tough to play back unless they flop an ace or like a good flush draw themselves. So I think it's worth the shot there. We risked 7 to win like 8, I think it was. So don't mind making that play. This will be a raise. 3 blinds. Actually, I should probably raise bigger, but whatever. Doesn't matter much. Raise here. Do I have to call the big blind shove? I think so. 7.7 blinds I'd be priced in. The ante's not that big, but yeah, I think I would have been stuck calling that off. I should double check that there is, like, I'm pretty certain there was no good mystery bounties left in this. 0 out of 1, 0 out of 1. Yeah, so it's $3 and $4 mystery bounties, so they're literally worthless. Of course, it would matter a lot to pay attention to that because, you know, there's 3 left. That guy just jammed 6 blinds. If this $100 bounty is live, probably would be a plus EV call with 9 deuce. Certainly if the $300 bounty is live, it would be, because then it's like a $100 EV just for the winning that bounty on average. So 5-3-0, probably just a raise. I used 3 last time, so I'm just going to use this sizing going forward. All right, we have nothing plus a diamond, but quite a good board for me. Sorry. Don't want to c-bet this hand though. I do have a lot of air hands that have a diamond in them. 9 deuce, 10 deuce, like gut shot sort of things. So I think this hand should start by checking, and we'll just use this hand to bluff 1 street. Maybe I'll just bluff the turn actually, on second thought. Okay, river 10, we have to bluff here. We have 5 high. I don't see any options. We checked flops, so we're representing like some ace jacks and stuff like that. I think 6 blinds is a good sizing in this spot. What spot do I want? I don't think it's gonna matter. Let's just take the button and see what the other people do. All right, so he rivered the ace, which is whatever, just bad river, I guess. I have to bluff it, and it's the card improving them, so is what it is. Yeah, I'll take the button, and then I guess whatever happens. I mean, the chip leader probably takes the button back from me. Who's the chip leader? This guy? This Lee Mackham guy? His spot would be... yeah, it wouldn't be the worst, I guess. I don't really care. You put me anywhere, I'll win it. This hand I think is high frequency 3-bet. Let's go for that. Did he leave me on the button? Nice. That's why I like to take the button, because you never know. They don't. The chip leader doesn't even always... I don't know, maybe they're superstitious, they don't want that or something. So yeah, that's quite a good seat for me to get here. Far away from the chip leader. Yeah, and I don't have to pay the big blind for the longest out of anyone at the final table. Or I don't have to pay any of the blinds for the longest. I think King 8 suited is a plus EV call against 5.8 big blinds jamming the button. Is this suited, or do I have King 8 offsuit? Oh man, these graphics are so bad. I'm thinking that's a club. This is a really bad call if it's offsuit though. I mean, I'm ahead, but yeah, I want to see in the replayer maybe. It'll show me. I can't switch these graphics, by the way. Like this site, I have like some other graphics, but when you play the mystery bounty, it puts you in this like terrible graphics, and I don't know how to change it. So hopefully that wasn't King 8 offsuit, because that would be pretty tragic. We have Ace King though, so that's a good hand. I guess my heads up 3-bet size should be around 8 or something like that. So let's see if we can win in one hand or double them up in one hand. Either way, okay, money's going in on the first hand. That's always fun. Mega cooler. Absolute huge cooler. Anything but a chop. Okay, nice. Well, that was easy, but I guess when you get ace king against ace queen heads up, yeah, anyone is gonna win that one. But yeah, we take it down. That's a good result. First prize. Still trying to figure out this replayer. What did I have? Oh man, that's funny. I did have the king of spades. I don't know if you guys can see it there. Yeah, I had the king of spades, 8 of clubs. It looked like a club, and the cards are so small, and they're like blocked by this stupid little mystery money bag thingy. So that call like changed the course of the tournament by like a fluke, basically, because I couldn't read my cards. And had I not called, maybe, you know, the RNG would be different. I wouldn't have eliminated that guy and then got ace king first hand of heads up. So that is a bizarre one, but we'll take it. All right, and just like that, we go to heads up. So I'm going to overlimp here. The weak player limping. I will overlimp deuces and try to hit a set. We'll see if we can win 2 tournaments here. That would be a nice successful day. Any day where you win 1 tournament is already a good day in my book. All right, awful flop here. We're just giving up. All right, we finally have a playable hand. I've just literally been folding here. I actually fired up a bunch of spin and goes because I was getting bored. Well, we have ace queen against the whales, been opening pretty wide. Do I want to 3-bet to isolate or flat? I want to go for the 3-bet ISO. I'm not sure which one's best. They're both decent plays. I was hoping to avoid multi-way. That's kind of why I like the 3-bet, because this guy's sort of a whale too, and he actually just cold calls. Now it's a pretty good flop though, so certainly no one would have had ace king pre. So as long as we fade any sort of sets or nonsense 2 pairs, then we should basically have the nuts on this board. This guy kind of massively overplayed a top pair earlier too, where he just like shoved 50 big blinds with jack 10 on 10-9-6 against this guy. So yeah, SPR 1 here, 1 point something. I think I've just continued betting like 15, like half pot or something. I think that's the best play. And so limp, I'm gonna, oh wait, sorry, commentating a spin and go. Playing like heads up at 3 spin and goes right now, so might be a little bit distracted. He folds, which is not a bad result. Oh, he got away from top pair. Good job, buddy. I guess I failed at the hand if I made him fold that, but I thought 15 was decent sizing there. Like, I thought all in he could fold a hand like that. I thought 15 he would probably call the turn at least still. All right, we have a hand again. It's like the second hand I played, ace queen and ace king so far. And it's been so long in between hands that I literally hit a royal flush at one of my spin and go tables since the last time I played a hand. Anyways, we 3-bet this, of course. Never really flatting this. I mean, I guess you could low frequency flat it as like a trap. It's not a terrible hand to trap, actually. I'd rather trap the offsuit than the suited, because the suited plays so good in a 3-bet pot when I get flatted, whereas offsuit doesn't play that well when I get flatted. So yeah, but I guess you could argue suited plays nicely multi-way. So maybe that logic, yeah, you could use the opposite argument for sure. All right, back to folding. Got no action. Wait for ace king again. All right, it's not ace king, but it's a pretty good hand. Ace 5 suited. Gonna raise. Flatted by loose player. Big blind overcall. Alright, this hand I feel like should be a check. Could definitely small bet it, it's okay, but it doesn't accomplish that much. And yeah, I have so many better top pairs to bet. It's definitely better to bet like ace queen, ace king here than ace 5. Heads up, I would have just range bet, but yeah, multi-way. Got 2 opponents in there. The ranges are much more narrow, so it's less just automatic betting on these boards. It's a bunch of hands that are like very natural checks, like any pocket pair basically, like jacks through kings, pocket nines, those sort of hands. Pocket aces I would frequently, actually I don't know if I would check aces very often. I think actually pretty much always want to c-bet aces there, just because you unblock the 10. And if someone has a 10, there's a good chance you can just like, they're going to check raise you and the pot will get huge right away. So you'd rather have that than check back and keep the pot small going to the river. This guy goes for 2 streets betting. I don't love to see that, but I think half pot with an ace, potentially like chopping. I wouldn't be shocked if he just was betting an ace with a weak kicker. It'd be nice if this 6 was a bit higher, but yeah, I think it's kind of an easy bluff catch here. Against a fish, they can just have that hand, which of course they should never have. From pre-flop and post-flop was obviously terrible too. Alright, we're going to play another pot. Ace 9 this time. Flatted by the VIP player. I have an awkward hand here. I feel like it makes the most sense to check back. Like betting ace king, you're getting like value. Not sure what you get by betting ace 9. Now the turn is awkward. This player is quite loose, so they could have a bunch of 5x, a bunch of 10-9 offsuit and stuff. So I think I'll actually fold here. Better to call a variety of different hands. Ace jack, obviously having 2 overs to the 10 is much better, so don't mind just folding. All right, this ace 9 is interesting. No, I think I still 3-bet it. I was considering just folding because this guy's behind and he's cold called once before. I still think it's pretty rare that he's going to cold call a 3-bet. Especially this time because I have to make it 8, whereas last time I was making it 5. But yeah, that is something to be aware of. If you have like a potential whale behind you, you can't really 3-bet light as often. But yeah, this hand, I think it's just a good hand to 3-bet in this position. Alright, we got a great hand here. Great starting hand at least. This guy jams, we have a bit of a decision. I think it would be very, very close whether to call. This flop I think is good for some sort of size like this. Fortunately, didn't have something there. That was a sort of board that we could easily be coolering him if he, yeah, just has a random king X or even a 9. Blind against blind, 9-6. Guess we'll just start raising this. And gonna be c-betting here. Something like a quarter pot. Actually, we'll just third pot. We'll continue barreling if we pick up any gut shots. Or like an obvious barrel card or something. I think this just has to be a check on the turn here. Betting 0 equity in this spot I think is very bad on the turn. The flop it's fine because we're just betting. We have fold equity. We don't know if we have no information yet really, except the board texture. But once they continue, now the range is more narrowed towards a 5, a 3, a king, a flush draw, an ace high, a gut shot. Like they have some sort of connected hand usually. So I would continue betting only if I have actual draws or some sort of relevant blocker, but mostly just draws for my bluffs at least. All right, we have a VPIP spot here, ace 8 suited against the 2 loose players. I should feel like this guy's played decent, except that one Henry cold called. I'm actually not going to put the whale. I'll just put the fish thing on it. He's been pretty reasonable. This player is definitely out of line, but Unfortunately, we missed the flop. No backdoors, no nothing. So just have to get out of there. Ace 10 off, kind of interesting because this guy's really short. This guy folds, okay. I still think it's a shove against a button open. Pretty certain it would be a jam. If he folds, then how do we want to play it? Probably limp. Wouldn't be raising as wide now that I'm not covering. But yeah, I think ace 10 is like 30 big blinds, a pretty standard small blind jam against button. We have a lot of fold equity here. So yeah, I think that's gonna be my play. If I had any hand worse than this, I'd use it as a 3-bet fold. But I think this hand just realizes its equity best just doing this. Six blinds to pick up there is huge. Puts me into, well, it makes me cover this player, which is just nice, I guess. It's not a huge deal, but it's very nice. Okay, ace 7 cutoff. Gonna raise. Get flatted by both these guys again. I almost considered folding pre. These players have both been playing every hand against me, and this sort of hand's obviously not good for multi-way, but yeah, feels like I still have to open that. Can easily, if these guys don't get stuff they want to play, I could get all in against this guy's 4 big blinds, which would be nice. I'm sorry, almost just timed out here. Here I guess I have to call. An ace is a dangerous card, so I'll be careful if I hit that, but the 7 is pretty nutted, obviously. Queen is quite bad because now I have no outs that are good anymore. King Queen, it would be a hand these players would have pure frequencies. And just other random Queen X, which I'm drawing dead against. So yeah, easy fold on the turn though. Alright, down to 4-handed now. Interesting spot actually. If this guy opens, I might just flat. Shoving feels like a bit too many chips into these two guys being covered here. And this hand's decent. Like if they both decide to call, this is like not a bad hand to go 3 or 4 ways to the flop. So yeah, I think that's the play here. I'm not really flopping enough pairs here at the moment. Yeah, I'll just check back here. All right, ace king here. It's a standard open, but almost, you know what, I'm gonna go for a shove. My logic here is that I'm gonna get flatted by both these players too often, and that just hurts my EV a lot in this spot. Like potentially losing this hand, losing 2 more big blinds because 2 fish flat me with some random suited hands, and I think they're gonna call my jam too wide anyways. So I think that's the right adjustment there with specifically with ace king offsuit. It's pretty much the main hand I would do that. Also ace queen off I think makes sense. But yeah, with ace king suited I would have raised for sure. All right, I'm just gonna be all in here in the big blind. Small blind flat, that's nice. Some extra incentive. Extra odds for somebody to call off here. This would be a key pot to win. Get it in against ace-8 suited. Not sure if that's a good call. Probably isn't. He probably needs like ace-10, ace-9 suited. Yeah, it's kind of close, I guess, but probably a bad call, but that's fine. We go out 4th. Overall, a successful day, successful tournament. It's just one of those FTs I really got no hands to play, except like some ace kings a couple times, and then yeah, so there wasn't much to do. It was just kind of played itself. So good result there. I'll put on the final tally for this session. I'll I'll edit that one in. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Also, leave a thumbs up if you like this content, because I'm gonna start posting some videos like this. And if they get good feedback, good engagement, then yeah, I'll be more motivated to post more. So yeah, thanks. Bye.